Hi, I'm Brittney Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm so excited to have Inga on the show today. But before we dive in, everyone, welcome to Breaking Norms, Building Dreams. I'm your host, Brittney Ashley, and we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network on 105.3 and 107.7 in New Orleans. Get ready to escape the next hour as we break norms and build dreams with Inga today. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited because I've been following your journey off and on, but I'm excited for you to share your journey as well with all the listeners. But before we do, I'll do like our short little mini bio, like I said I do, and then I'll let you lead into it of who you are in your journey. So everyone, please meet Inga, a founder and creative director at TEMPÉTE, based in Vancouver. Inga is redefining modern bridal wear through re-wearable mix and match designs, which, by the way, I'm going to pull it up so I can share some like visuals for everyone. Her work has been featured in Vogue, Elle, and Brides magazine, and she's appeared on Dragon's Den season 18, which, by the way, amazing, introducing her whole bridal category. Known for building boldly and leading with heart, Inga's journey is shaping by entrepreneurship, intuition, and motherhood, and a deep belief on doing things differently. I'm so excited to have you today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's such a pleasure. I'm really excited to have this conversation together.
I know we chatted a little bit briefly on the phone, but I've been following your journey, and we met at an event, Women's Wealth event, actually in Vancouver, briefly. So I'm just excited to have like one-on-one time to learn more about you and our audience, to learn more about what you do. So maybe you can kind of share who you are a little bit more, and then we can dig into your story.
Sure, of course. Well, my name is Inga, and I'm a mom and entrepreneur. I've started TEMPÉTE almost 3 years ago. It's in April, it's going to be 3 years, and it has been like a wild journey. I like to be pretty honest and like where we are, and I don't like to sugarcoat things. So I, love good branding. I love marketing. I build with passion. I love to add a creative, vision and direction to anything that I do. I like good aesthetics. I like to elevate brands to, before TEMPÉTE started, I ran a photography studio here in Vancouver, and a lot of different cool brands used to shoot in my studio. They found the aesthetics of that really appealing, and we had like numerous big brands shooting there. So I was kind of like providing the space for the creative outlet for many people, brands, and influencers as well. Before that, in my early 20s, I was working in film and was doing photography. Actually, I did some wedding photography for like a few years as well. So I was kind of familiar with working with brides and, knowing what, her and her fiance are looking for, the more like I was given more like a bridal fashion photography. Now we're doing bridal fashion. So I was kind of familiar with the space and with the brides itself. I always work with people. I just love working with people, and somehow I ended up being in the space. So it's always like working with the client, listening to what they're looking for, and just learning their story, where they at. I love people, and I love learning more about every single bride who walks into our showroom. So for me, it's natural, and it's always, a light and easy conversation. And I met so many amazing people through all my like journey leading towards TEMPÉTE and with TEMPÉTE as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing. Do you think you've like a vision, like say 5 years ago, did you always envision like this is where you would go?
I would not imagine. I would not imagine I would be here. Also because, you know, sometimes you kind of build something dependent on where you are in phase of your life. So my wedding was like a long time ago. So I thought I'm not gonna be doing like weddings anymore. Like I stopped doing wedding photography because now I have two kids, and it's hard to predict what if I'm going to be available in 2 years, 3 years, because brides book in advance. So for me, I thought like weddings, it's not kind of like possible anymore. But yeah, it kind of led me into where I am right now, and I think it's just all like small building blocks through your career that kind of leads you to where you are, and I'm like happily accepting it where I am.
Amazing. And I don't think I've ever told you, but I was in the wedding industry.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, I did many things, but one of the things was being an event planner. But I've
Okay.
realized that I love working a lot more in the business. So planning the business side, the automations and the marketing, versus I just felt like once we got to the event, I was missing out because I wanted to be in the party than being behind the scenes and planning it. So it's like I feel like I need to do like change it up. And so that's kind of like what led me on my long mindful journey. But going on to like what you're saying, like that's what I always like to remind like clients and or individuals, that your brand is never stagnant. Like you're always constantly changing. It's always evolving as you evolve too as a person. Your journey is never, that's why your journey is never unique compared to everybody, is so unique compared to anyone else, right? No one can follow those steps. So yeah, a long time ago, I only lasted one summer, to be honest.
Well, it's like also wedding planning, it's pretty stressful like industry to be in, to be honest. But it's like it's fulfilling at the end, but it can get intense, you know. You have to keep in mind so many details on a day off.
Yeah, and usually like the summers are filled with the weddings too, right? And I originally thought it would be like a happy medium, thinking like, oh, I can like have the kids in the wintertime and things would be easier doing drop-offs. But then I soon realized like it's hard to get like care in the summertime. So what am I going to do, especially if I'm doing those kind of events? So I kind of had to pivot, and randomly right before that all happened right before COVID. So it worked out to being more virtually anyway. So
Totally.
yeah, I would love to, maybe you can explain a little bit more about your bridal wear, because it's not common like a lot of other places, and that's what makes you so unique. I'll share my screen so then people can see who's viewing. Anyone who's listening can come in and come watch the show.
Sure. Or just check out our website as well, tempettebrand.com.
Yes.
Yeah, so like the idea behind the bridal wear, like what we're trying to bring to the, you know, bridal scene is that things doesn't have to be only one-time wear. They can be re-wearable and as exciting. And by exciting, we provide multiple bridal options that can be styled together and mixed and matched to kind of create one-of-a-kind look. So very often, even like last weekend, like just a couple days ago, we had a couple brides who would come in, and they styled the outfits that we have not styled together like before.
Okay.
So and the brides always get surprised when we say that. Like I look at the bride and say, "Oh my God, it's such a cool look. We haven't tried it." And they would be like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, because there's so many options." Because when you think of a bridal wardrobe or capsule wardrobe, it's consists of a few pieces that can be seamlessly mixed and matched between each other, and you can get multiple looks. So with like even I cannot say we have a huge selection. It's not like thousands of SKUs, right? But it's still a good amount for it to be mixed and matched and styled in a unique ways.
Yes. And that's the thing, like a lot of like it's a lot of money to find, like to purchase a dress and all the things, and you just get really one wear, usually on average. And then you kind of pack it away and never see it again. Like mine is probably still downstairs, stored away, never. The one I actually been thinking of pulling it out because I want to do a photo shoot with my daughter of her wearing it. But that's like the only time where I'm like, I'm never going to see this again.
Yeah, and that's what I had before too. I
Mhm.
got a dress. That's kind of what, like, we didn't have that many options back then, right? So we would just kind of follow the original path. But I think right now, brides are so much more sophisticated. They want to like have a whole like kind of a fashion show out of their wedding. And, I understand why, because you want to curate like multiple events and you want to wear something cool and unique, and that's what our kind of purpose behind the brand. It can also be worn for all the wedding events like welcome dinners, receptions, and post wedding events as well. So instead of buying like one expensive dress, you can create like multiple looks, and quite often at a more accessible rate. So yeah, that's where we come in, and we just love what we do. We get excited about every piece we curate and design, because every piece is intentionally designed to fit with the whole assortment of pieces we have. So we know that it's going to work with like other tops and bottoms, and it's a lot of planning and thinking. We not like mass produce pieces, but we like try to be intentional with that.
Mhm. Amazing. And is it all curated here then in Canada, in
Yeah,
Vancouver?
it's made in Vancouver, which like many brides also like love to support
Mhm.
us, because we're small, we make it here. We want to make sure the pieces are of a good quality and curated here. Yeah, so that's something that we like really proud of for sure.
Amazing. And I see you also do veils too.
Yes, so veils, it's definitely our gem. That's something that we kind of like started with, and that's what we also focusing on. And we planning to focus on veils even more, because also many brides come in and they find our veils are of a really good quality, and also compared with the price that they find in different places. So we see the huge demand in that, and yeah, we just want to provide what brides are looking for. So we definitely planning to add more new veils this season, and maybe some new cool accessories too.
Amazing. Yeah, looking at like I was just gonna say your price point is amazing.
Yeah.
It's been like 100 years now, like 10 plus years now since I've gotten married, but I do remember like factoring in because you get the dress and then the dress price, and then you're like, oh, I have to add a veil to that, and then another price on that. And I remember like weighing my options with the veil because the veils can go up in price as well. And so I felt like I had to like take away from the veil because I was purchasing the dress. But I love how you have it all like yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we're trying to again keep it accessible. I totally understand what it means to put a wedding together, and
Mhm.
the current economy and everything. I think it's just like it needs to be justified, and also because it's kind of like a part of the styling for us.
Yes.
It can be seamlessly added to any of the outfits, and it's kind of like a part of the whole experience. So we just want to make it accessible, and make it easy for brides to put a cool look together, and she can in the look that she can feel confident in.
Amazing. And then you have the jewelry pieces as well.
Yeah, jewelry pieces, same as veils, also are made in Vancouver by our local artisans, and we use freshwater pearls of a different shapes, and they kind of more organic shapes, so you don't find the two same like pearls, um,
Mhm.
and yeah, and we use the 14 karat gold filled materials, which are like quite durable as well, and we're just trying to make things of a good quality, but also make them accessible. Some things that might not easy, but we're doing it. So I'm
Amazing.
really happy.
I love it. And whereabouts can you ship, just because we have a mix of listeners from here, Canada
Okay.
and US, just so
Yeah,
anyone listening.
for sure. Yeah, we ship worldwide because we have brides ordering from like Germany and South Korea and so many places. So it's not a problem for us to ship worldwide. The only thing is just to keep in mind and consider is the shipping time.
Right.
And also many of our pieces can be rushed, like really rushed, because we are like small production located in Vancouver. If bride says like really on the home stretch and needs something like SAP, we always available, through email, or we have WhatsApp chat too that we can like answer right away, and we're gonna make sure it's arrived like on time.
Amazing. I love that. Is there maybe some biggest challenges in your early days that you want to
For
share with
sure.
me?
Yeah, for sure. No, there's like a challenge on top of the other challenge on top of the
Yeah.
other challenge.
You're also
But
a mom.
yeah, I also a mom. So that's definitely, the time is always a challenge, when you're building something. And first like 3 months when, the company was launched were like the most intense. I had to like spend a lot of time, barely slept, because we were like launching. We needed to put like a fashion show together. We wanted to launch a fashion film too. So that took a lot of resources, like of time and investment. But it's something that to be expected, and it's something that I put kind of like a time frame for, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like endless going on, but like the next like 3 months I would put towards just making it happen, and then I can like take it a bit slower.
Mhm.
And I think it's also not linear in terms of like the time investment as well. Some months can be more productive, right? You put so much energy, you feel the urge to like create, you feel the urge to do so many things, and then the next months you kind of like a slower pace, and it's okay. Like, it's hard, we're not robots, so it's like you cannot go on the same pace every month, because
Yes.
sometimes it can get upsetting, because you're like, oh, I'm not being so productive this month. But again, it's like it's quite normal and something to be expected.
Hmm. And
do
I
you,
think
do you find it too?
yes, definitely. I would say, and then we're like, I've talked on the show prior that I have ADHD. So it's hard for me because I hyper focus, and that's a lot of issues with people who do have ADHD. Sometimes those are like the hyper focus ones, like go hard or go home, and then it leads right to burnout. So it's being mindful of where the stop and go is, and also being a mom. So you're wearing all these different hats and knowing like where to put your different efforts in. And then on top of all of that is giving yourself grace, because I find like we looking at social media and building a business and we tend to compare ourselves with different businesses. And you can see a business over here that's maybe similar to you, or like they look like they're killing it. And you're just like maybe stagnant because you're sick. Like we were just talking how sick we all were, and all the things in between, and you're feeling like everyone's going like 10 steps further, but we're maybe 20 steps behind. And we all have like our different steps in growth. There's different steps in how the brand evolves, and it's just being mindful of that and giving ourselves grace.
Totally, totally. Yeah. And I think, yeah, by like looking at someone and their way of thinking, it's not like pretty accurate, because,
Mhm.
the time that they have been maybe on the market, or like, do they have a big team? Like, we just need to see what we can do, what we can, like, what we are capable of, because that way we just get in like burnout. And the worst thing is we become stagnant, because we are so focused on like what other people are doing, and feel that we're not enough, and we just kind of like slow down altogether. So it's good to also do, like, your cat is so cute on the back.
He was asleep, and of course when I go live he's like, someone pay
Absolutely.
attention to me.
Totally, totally.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
fall off.
and I think it's like, what is like, I find the most helpful is just to put a list of small steps and
Yeah.
just do them, like take them off your list step by step. Because again, as entrepreneurs, we are tend to like go, all over the place. So it's like taking step by step. But yeah, I mean, challenges wise, um yeah, like having the right team, right, that share same vision, it's also like crucial when you're building something. And it's not necessarily mean that you're gonna find the right people right away. uh yeah, I got like burned quite a few times with, just like finding the right person for the position, and that's kind of take your time, investment, and it's painful, but it's like
Mm.
something that is expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
I
mhm,
can definitely relate on that too.
mhm,
Um, I find sometimes you do like if you I find the ones that share the same values too and understand like the why and the passion, they're definitely like in it for the long haul. So a lot of my team's been with me, like some have like 4 years at least, and it's
mhm,
the ones that really are like, I get it, kind of, right?
mhm.
And then there's some too that are underneath the umbrella for us because we give back to the community. So there's different like pillars, and then those who really understand why we give back to the community, again, are with us for the long haul because they know we actively show up in different areas. I'm sorry. He just really wants to see the win. This is true fashion, mom style, but with fur cats.
Totally, totally. No, that's so cute. And also, I think one of the challenges that I encountered and keep encountering is that when you like are given or like offered some sort of opportunity and you need to put certain investment towards it. It can be anything. It can be collaboration with like in influencers that you have to put like investment towards, or go into a bridal market, that what we did in our first year to New York, that required like quite a bit of investment. You're always kind of hoping to get a return like almost right away. You like put in this like amount towards whatever growth you're going for. And that can like you should expect that it might not happen like overnight. And kind of like budgeting that in is important every year. Like it doesn't matter if you're in first year or in your fifth. It's just something that you need to understand that it's like building blocks. And it just like kind of every single opportunity just brings you closer to your goal, but it's not necessarily mean return on investment right away. And so
Yes.
sometimes it's like painful for the up and coming brand when you like put your investment towards something and you're not getting something in return right away. So that's just something that needs to be planned like strategically and asked like so many times, like if it's worth it. For example, we never paid for any media advertising at all, because I also believe if it's yeah, we've been featured in so many publications, but it's all genuine, because I do believe if someone is interested and really see the value,
Mm-hmm.
um the worst sharing story, they would reach out, and that would be the most genuine, and that would be the most kind of like natural way of sharing. So that really helped us not to put thousands of dollars. We would reach out, we would send like media, I don't know, like a presentation like that. Here's our brand, like if you're like interested in if there's anything that you like any trends that you like to share. And also I think our fashion week, like the bridal market that we did during the fashion week, also helped bring the word out there, because we got published in so many like magazines right away. And yeah, just building those relationship with each outlet, even if it's like one or two, doesn't have to be so many, really
Mm-hmm.
helps to for other people to discover. And sharing, I think it's also important, and it's also one of the challenges, to keep kind of sharing your story and showing your face to your audience and to kind of to your brand, like whether it's like yeah, like a social network, because people want to learn more about the founder and like what is behind the brand, what are the challenges. And I'm also being guilty that I'm not sharing everything. I mean, it's just like time wise, I wish I
Mm-hmm.
had a bit more, but I would like love to share everything, like if I could. I would love to share everything. So yeah, that's like yeah, but there were like so many other challenges. But I think it's the slow months sometimes, the um it can be unpredictable each month, like whether it's going to be, slow months or, better months. And you kind of like, especially first couple of years, you cannot predict that because you don't have a data yet. And with every year that becomes kind of more predictable, so you can, plan for it. So that's become like useful. And also one of the challenges, you asked about challenge, so I'm going to definitely
No,
share.
yes, please.
But also like how people discover you, because at the beginning it's like it doesn't, I feel in the first like couple years it doesn't matter like even how much you put out there, there is a natural growth that you cannot like speed up, because I think bridal wear especially in particular, it's a lot about word of mouth. So right now we see a lot of brides who walk in and we are being recommended by their friends who either were in our showroom or got married in our pieces or heard about us. So that helps a lot. And that's something that you cannot build like overnight or even over a year or two.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And I like that you brought that up because we live in a world that is at our fingertips more so than ever. And so, like I was just saying, like we see all the pretty stuff sometimes, not the behind the scenes. So I've had like people come up to me at events being like, "Oh, you're everywhere. You're killing it." I'm like, "I'm literally just surviving." And I'm surprised I even made it to this event today at the situation of what happened yesterday. And so
Totally.
but I won't lead with that. Oh yeah, I'm here.
Mhm. Yeah, right. And I think the more we all share the real truth, even like it's a simple sentence, as you said, oh, I'm glad I made it here, kind of make people connect and get
Mhm.
real about where we are as a people. I've spoken with founders who like to me are huge success, but they are being so overwhelmed at the moment, like that you cannot believe. Because one thing is, it's like it looks so cool when you see someone is like scaling or going like getting
Yeah.
such a big investment. But on the other side, imagine this, like you build this machine, like huge machine that you cannot stop, that's your business. And sometimes it can scare you off because that's where you cannot just like walk away, right? You have the whole team, things are going, the orders are coming in, and you have to fulfill it, you have to fulfill so many other responsibilities, so you can't just be free and like just go somewhere tomorrow, like for I don't know a couple months of sabbatical or something like that. So it's also like if someone is scaling, doesn't mean they are like so contempt inside. They also feel anxious in a way. So we all kind of going through different phases. And it's like, I think some like, I don't know, maybe I'm lucky, but because I like get real when I talk to people, and then they getting real things back to me. So it's like I'm going to event and I always can share that it's not an easy journey, and I get similar kind of perspective back. So I think the more realistic we are, even when we go to different events, yes we hear, yes we like we should be proud of ourselves where we are, but let's just be a little bit real, like all of us. And I
Mhm.
think that will be easier and will take a little bit of edge off this
Yeah.
anxieties.
Yes. I love that. The being raw and authentic. And I
Yeah.
feel as we see like AI is rolling out like more than ever, and I know a lot of people, I'm going to be doing a workshop with one of my team members on this a little bit more because we see it all and we're in a state of like scarcity mindset right now because a lot of us aren't maybe well educated or we're unknown, like that there's just too many things in the bubble. And so the prime example I just kind of talked to other people about, like you saw the self checkouts and how they've scaled specifically up. Like I remember the first time I've ever seen the self checkout, by the way, it was in Ontario when I was in grade 12. So that's like years ago, and it finally made its way to BC. And everyone was super scared about it, but you can still see people are needing to man it because people still need help. And it's just like the AI side of it. Like we're still going to need that human touch point, and more so ever going back to being authentic and raw. More people want to see that than the put together self shiny. Like I went to a networking like get together on Friday and I'm like, I'm here in my mom's clothes. Here I am.
Totally. No, totally. And I think it's natural that people want to like a human touch to it.
Mhm.
There are so many like activations that brand do right now, bringing people together in a physical spaces, because it is like you cannot compare this to the online space, right? Like online is just the touch point to get the people to get to know you, but
Yeah.
then I think those like in-person events, that's what's kind of, and I think that would be even more in need over the last few years. People would be more interested in doing the in-person events or activations or whatever this is, and that's just a human nature.
Yeah. I know
Mm.
you were on Dragon's Den. I want to
Yeah.
segue. I want to share some notes about maybe anyone who's listening who might want to go on Dragon's Den. By the way, anyone from the US, it's Shark's Tank in
Totally.
translation. And some of
Yeah.
them come to Dragon's Den and then vice versa go to Shark Tank. But maybe you can share a little bit of your journey, like how you decide to go to Dragon's Den, and then maybe just step into the piece points there for anyone listening.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I have not, like, if you again would tell me like 5 years ago that we would go to Dragon's Den, I would not believe it.
Yeah.
And that wasn't, yeah, it wasn't even like it didn't even cross my mind until I went to this founders club event. It was like founders event in Vancouver. It's like it was a dinner, and I met like quite a few entrepreneurs. That was kind of like my first experience meeting other founders. So that was like really cool, and I was like less than a year in, so I was like really new to the scene.
Yeah.
And I was just chatting with one of the founders at the dinner, and they did Dragons Den. They had like period products. Yeah. And we've been just chatting, and she's like, do you want to like try to go on Dragons Den? And I was like, what? Like with our bridal wear? I didn't think about it. But, of course, obvious enough, the same evening I got home, I applied for Dragons Den auditions. Because
I
I
love
couldn't,
it.
yeah, if something like crosses your mind, you like want to act on it right away.
Yes.
And I just applied, and I was like, I'm gonna figure the rest of the things out on as I go. And
Mhm.
because the auditions were closing down, we were invited to come in for an interview for an audition like in a week, I think. So it was like really quick. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, what would be our pitch? What do we say? What's going on? And then I started to think it was a good exercise for me to go deeper into the brand DNA and
Yes.
figure out what is the brand about. It's not about only bridal wear, but it has like, it's a different from others. So I just tried to put as many notes to my notebook and see what I can come up with.
Mhm.
So yeah, we went to Dragons Den like in a week, and we're supposed to have a model on the day off because she would wear our pieces, and me and Anna would present the brand.
Mhm.
And in the morning, it was maybe like an hour before Dragons Den, model is messaging me, and she's like, oh, there's something like happening in my apartment, like a water damage or something, I cannot come.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, what do? We have these pieces. So what I had to do, I just put clothes on me. I
Yeah.
just had to dress myself up and just go there and present. And also I think like when we were sitting, like there was like quite a few people, different companies, and of course not everyone gets invited to Dragons Den. So I was thinking what would be like like the factor that like we can be accepted. And I think one of that was like, honestly, our eyes, they were
Mhm.
so lit up. We were like, I think you could see us in a crowd right away because we were so passionate. We were like just so like overly excited to be
Mhm.
there. So like I don't know, just so happy and so passionate. And then this just shows up a lot. So yeah, the audition itself was like quite well. when we were pitching, I thought, how can we present our brand to be interesting for the show, not necessarily for the investors, because I was standing there and I was presenting it to the, the producers, right? They want to make a good, interesting show. And luckily we have done this fashion show with some like models walking around with the low lane smoke and cool like aesthetics, the film on the back. So I pulled this video out from my phone and I showed them how I want this to be, presented. Yeah,
Yes.
if we were on TV, and they're like, oh yeah, we haven't done this before, we didn't have like this runway, this might be cool, so they got like interested and they got hooked, plus our energy, like we were just so out there. So I think, yeah, that's kind of was like a good um like advantage for us. And
Mhm.
I think within like almost 2 weeks we received the call that we're going to Dragon's Den, so it was like really quick. And after the call we only had like a week to go, so it was like everything happened within a month. And while we were standing on Dragon's Den, we just turned 1 year, so we were just so new. my
Yes.
my accounting wasn't ready. I was like finishing it up like a night before at the hotel because you needed to
Kids.
present the numbers. Yeah, and I was like freaking out, like, okay, let's just like put this together. So it was like really like quick and kind of unexpected, but I think things happen in my life more like that, like this way. So I kind of used to it now.
Mhm. Well, thank you for sharing. I love like the full like journey of getting there. And then how was it when you got in front of the
Yeah.
dragon?
So we were kind of lucky that because we had models walking in, we had to go into the den before the show and walk them around and see how it's gonna like look like, where the models have to stand. So we could see the den at least before. That kind of like helped us just a little bit to get a sense of the space, And actually the den itself is so much bigger than it looks like on the show. It's actually huge. Like if our models did like huge, leaps around the room, it means
Yeah.
like it's like, yeah, it's really spacious. And we were able to meet with the producers. Everyone got excited, everyone came in and they were like looking at, because our pieces were like pretty like stand out, like, white beautiful pieces. And they brought the whole After Effects team who were doing this low lane smoke, so that all like looked really cool together. And right before the show, right before we walked in, I was chatting with the models. I was like still so scared because, like, you go in there, that there's gonna be so many cameras and
Yeah.
they would ask so many questions, numbers, and everything was so new to me. But with that in mind, still, I had to kind of give good cues to the models. What are we doing? What kind of energy we bring, and give them the confidence and telling them like, you look so good, let's bring the energy in, like let's do that. But inside I was like shaking. i
You
was
couldn't
completely
tell.
I was completely shaken, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be there. But I mean, at the same time, I want to be there here.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just do it. Let's just like what can happen? Like at least what we did before, we tried to remember our pitch so well.
Mhm.
We would repeat it like as we walk on the street. I would start the pitch and I will finish the pitch, or before this, or like right before bed, I would just like randomly start the pitch and she would finish it. So we would just practice in a different settings just so we know it by heart and we don't
Yeah.
have to focus on it. So that helped quite a bit, because once speech is like over, it's only like the conversation style. um, and yeah, once we walked into the den, you see the dragon sitting there, and the
Mm.
thing is, you see so many cameras behind each dragon. I don't know how many cameras there were. I've worked in like film, and video production before, and I could tell, like, oh my God, they probably captured every single emotion I can like possibly have.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were cameras every, like, I don't know, like few inches, so many cameras. And yeah, the whole conversation and the time in the den was about like 45 minutes. So that's how long you are there, and that's how many questions they can ask within that time. But then they only cut it down to like 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and it was pretty good. I feel like the whole editing definitely makes it more intense, but we definitely got some questions asked. And but overall, yeah, like it was a great experience. And dragons were, I think, were maybe a little bit kinder to us than what I've seen before,
Mhm.
because sometimes it can get really intense. But it was like a really good conversation. And also after the show, we had Brian Scudamore, one of the dragons, visit our showroom in Vancouver. So
Amazing.
he came, yeah, he came in. We had a chat after over the coffee, and that was like really amazing, to kind of share insights and hear some feedback from someone like that. And yeah,
Amazing.
no, that was really good experience.
Oh, that's so amazing. And then for like, have you prior to all of this looked into working with other investors or just invest in different ways? Or you
I,
used to?
I actually have, like, to be honest, I have not like thought of it before, like to actually get someone like invest, because again, we're so new. And I think for the investor to come in, or for you to go and pitch to investor, you kind of have to have some process in mind, some perspective in mind. And especially for our industry, I think it would take a bit longer. So that was kind of our first experience pitching
Mhm.
to investor, and pitching at all. Like, I didn't know
No.
like what the pitch is, and like how do you pitch, like what pitch should look like. I had no idea. But I think we just try to simplify it and make it as easy to digest as possible,
Yes.
and kind of visualize. So that was our thing. Yeah.
I like that. And I find that we do sometimes overcomplicate things. I know I sure do. I had one client like, "Can you give me a cost breakdown analysis?" And my brain's like, I can go like the school way because I'm so used to university where they make you do like all these different things. I'm like, "Do you
Mhm.
want me to go that way? Because I definitely can, or do you want me to simplify it?" And he's like, "I want you to simplify it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But like, I
Totally.
hold it, or else I would like go like on this deep dive of like overthinking it, over analyzing it. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves it's easier to go simplified, making sure we get the why and like why you exist too. And then going on that way. Like I went to a networking event in Vancouver actually like a while ago, and they asked everybody in the room of like 200 people of what their why was. And I actually led with, instead of pitching of who I was, I led with why Creative Dynamics started was to help moms work from home. And they
Mhm.
called me out in that whole platform of people being like, we remember Brittney Ashley because she stated her why versus stating what they do. We remember why she started her business. So,
Totally. Yeah, it's like it's just making it more simple. And for the people to remember if there is like any kind of details, but more like, easy for people to connect. It's always like the best way. It's same with like public speaking too, right? You want to just bring as many examples as you can for the people to remember, because they sometimes just come, to see that someone is relatable,
mhm.
and easy to understand for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your experience on Dragon's Den. I was excited to like hear a little bit more and how it all went. Because you can see on TV, like, and that's the thing, you can see so much. So you wonder too, like, how much they cut down and like really
Yeah.
the editing pieces too.
Yeah, editing is like, it's a huge part of it for sure. But it's yeah, they make it, for the viewer to be interesting, and like fast, and with some action. So that's definitely, yeah, the editing. I was worrying about editing because it can turn, you can do so
Either way.
much. Yeah, it can be one way or the other. I did editing myself too, so I know
Mhm.
that it's it's a magic tool. It can like, you can make things look really different with different music and different
Yeah,
cuts. So yeah.
100%. Right now, like the new trend on TikTok is like filming it as if it's a movie scene or whatever, and like
Yeah.
all like the different sounds is so funny because like you make it look like it's such a dramatic experience, but really it was like the best experience of a trip.
Oh yeah, totally, totally.
Um, Maybe we can talk a little bit how you like balance motherhood and building the business, because I find like everyone says to me like, "Oh, you got it down." It's like, not really. Like I'm
Totally.
learning as I go. Every day is different. Every day is new.
Yeah, yeah. Every, like, there's no 2 days that are alike.
Yes.
But I mean, obviously, it's challenging, and I think as entrepreneur, I also compare myself to someone who doesn't have kids, for instance, and building a business, and I'm like, why am I not getting like as much work done? But you have to, get realistic on where you are, especially if you have kids.
Yes.
But also, I think it teaches us to be as productive as possible, right? Because if we have more time, it's not necessary that we can get more work done. I work the best in a more tight timelines,
Yeah.
um, than when I have more time. It's like, I don't know, it is for you, but it's
No, it's
definitely.
true. And it also like I need like some kind of like chaos. Like I seem to thrive on it. Like I didn't think I did, but I did like a speaking event the other like few weeks back. And one of the audience member was like, I was laughing so hard and then felt bad for you at the same time because there was some uproar and behind the scenes. He's like, but you just kept going. Like I thought for sure we'd be pause and restructure, but it like didn't phase you. I'm like, I think maybe motherhood prepared me for this.
Oh yeah, it 100% did, 100%. I also seem to thrive and get more in the work mode when kids are around, because I know I'm like so limited on time, but then I'm like, okay, I can send like this email, I can do this, I can do that. And sometimes, I mean, like, kids kind of like used to, like, they feel comfortable sometimes, like, being like able to play on their own, and it's not a bad thing. But I do love to spend time together when we can, especially like I left some days off after school so we could go like to our favorite spots like near nature, because I know that's the time where I probably not going to get work done, and they have some time off. So there's definitely time where you can, spend quality time together. And there's some periods where things get more busy, and it's also okay. Like, kids can, like, I think kids see so many things, and we given them, a real example what, the real life looks like. It doesn't have to be so perfectly curated around them. I think it teaches them a lot too. Yeah. And when they come to my showroom, they see mom is working, mom is like building something. I think growing up, that would kind of give them like a lot of important skills too, and
Mhm.
patience, hopefully, and grit, and all these things that cannot be taught unless they experience this and they see this. So
Abs-
I mean well, always, in what I do, with them. So I hope like they grasp on that. And it's challenging. It's definitely challenging. I also feel like the morning is the most challenging, because you need to like pack
Yeah.
lunches and get them ready and take them to school, and by that time you, first of all, already exhausted, and second
Mhm.
of all, it's already like 9, 10. And I wish my morning started earlier. My morning was like more, relaxed. I think
Yeah.
that's when I would get more work done, but again, you kind of like, adjust as you go. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I do drop-offs and pickups, so I don't necessarily sometimes start till 9:30, and so I always, like, highlight the boundaries too with my clients. I don't start till 9:30, and then I work from 9:30 too. I'm trying to be, like, more mindful of putting in, like, breaks in between, but I find, like, sometimes I'm like, I just have, like, sometimes 2-hour days to even get work done, so other things are filled with meetings, and then at
Mhm.
2 o'clock, I have to leave to go get the kiddos, and I'm driving all around Langford, and by the time I get home, it's 4:30, and I'm like, "I'm done for the day."
Totally, right? Yeah. It's like the days are long, like because you start them early with getting things organized. And then again, there's like cooking, there's cleaning involved, there's after school activities, it's always on us, or there's like a birthday invite that you have to reply. There's like school projects that you like have to get crafts and get it done. So it's always something. I think it's just the mental load. It's not necessary that we getting tired physically. It's just being tired mentally, right? It's just so many things we've been bombarded as mothers, because kind of like school right away think of that you are the main, the caregiver, and you are, right? Like you put in just so much work into kids, and you just have to, reply to so many like places. And yeah, it's just a lot mentally, I think.
Yes. And that's
Yeah.
why, like, it's like this state of like overwhelm. And then you get, like, for me, when I'm home and when I finally have a minute to myself, like, that's why I'd probably drown myself a little bit in TikTok, because it helps me reset a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, for sure.
there you go.
Totally. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but again, I think it's like the how we use this time. If we have less time, then we know that we have to get certain amount of things done in a day. And sometimes, again, like because I break things down in small steps, and I'm
yes.
like, it's okay that I didn't get everything done, but see, like I'm doing steps every day, and there's every day like small steps that already I accomplished in the
Yeah.
long run. Okay, let's see by Friday, like how much can I get done. Like Mondays are always the most overwhelming, because you're like, oh my god, I have so many tasks on my list, I'm not gonna get it done. But then somehow by Wednesday you're like, I feel like more comfortable now, so
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's just small steps. And sometimes we just underestimate and undervalue the amount of tasks that we do. And I think it's also sometimes good practice to write down how many things we actually did in a day, and we would be like so surprised, because there's
Yes.
a lot.
That's true. I find like I'm really bad at sometimes even looking at milestones, like milestones in business and milestones on the personal side, right? Because I'm just on automatic.
Yeah.
And and it's okay to ask for help. I was just saying this to a friend, like, if there's a certain level of place that you feel like you need extra support in, ask for help. So for me, I've been working with the Métis Center, for example, to help me get certain things, certain documents inside, so we can get funding for like the personal side of things. For
Mhm.
whatever reason, my brain just doesn't want to compute it, like doesn't want to do it unless I have somebody helping me. But on the business side of things, I can go like hard, no problem, all
Yeah.
good over here.
Yeah.
So it's like, where is that fine line? And I find like the more we talk about asking for help, it's not that I think we just need to get reminded of it, because sometimes we
Mhm.
feel ashamed of it just because what we see on social media of like all of
Mhm.
these people doing all these things, and it's like, well, why can't I? So
Mhm. Yeah, totally. And sometimes I feel like even sitting down with someone and kind of like brainstorming just like what's going on, like what I need like kind of help with, or maybe some things that we can define that I can like break down and work even by myself, but with the help of someone, just like kind of like navigating and brainstorming, because sometimes you just have to chat it all out and
yeah.
see where you at also like really helps. And yeah, getting like any help possible is like always so beneficial.
Mhm. Absolutely. We're almost at time. We have about 5 minutes-ish left. Do you have any last-minute tips, tricks, and outline where everyone can find you as well while I put the banners up?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm so excited to come to the show, share about our brand, because again, we're super passionate, small team based in Vancouver. And you can find us on tempettebrand.com. It's our website, or even better on our Instagram, Tempet Brand. And yeah, and just to give us a follow, share if you know anyone who's getting married. It's always good, to spread the word out there, especially when you grow in. It's super important. And sometimes we have brides who come in and they say like, oh, I wish I knew about your brand before, because I got the main dress, but now I'm looking for like veils, or I came with a friend. So I really want this to happen less, and I want for people to have that option and decide what they want. So yeah, I mean, we always available to chat. Again, we can answer on Instagram, email, and yeah, and we can help definitely for the last minute brides, because some brides come in and they only have a couple of weeks left. So we kind of used to work within the tight timelines too.
Amazing. Yes, because sometimes we do have tight deadlines that we don't. Unexpected things happen too in between. So
Yeah, our like quickest turnaround time was like actually kind of like the same day, but the bride came in,
wow,
she like, yeah, they came locally and they were eloping the next day.
wow.
Again, I don't ask too many questions how that happened, but I'm in my like solution mode. Like, what can we like help with? Like, how we can help on a like in that
Yeah,
moment. So we kind of put together an outfit for her like in a day, and the next day they just went to elope, and it was magical. They sent us the photos after and how happy they are. So that's, yeah, the most important for us.
that's amazing. A day. That's pretty impressive.
But I wouldn't weigh that. It's like it's
Yeah.
extreme. Okay, it's extreme. It's not guaranteed.
No. It's not guaranteed. Anyone listening, last minute planners.
Yeah, like, but at least like 2 3 weeks would be more so
That's
reasonable. But
really good though.
Mhm,
That's really
mhm.
good because sometimes, like, if depending on what you're looking for, right, it will range. But yeah, no,
Well,
and especially for shipping too, if they're asking for
yeah,
you a certain place.
100%. Yeah, definitely. And like some things take less. So for instance, veils take like a couple weeks. Bridal wear would better have a bit more time, obviously. But again, like we open in discussing. So it's I hope we can help every bride who needs help.
Yes. Well, amazing. Well, I'm so excited to see more of your journey and how I already know like you're going to take off. You're already taking off. So I already am. By the way, big congratulations on your recent win. One to watch out for. So everyone. Um, with that, everyone, we're already at time. So, welcome everyone for listening to Breaking Norms, Building Dreams. A big thank you to United Public Radio Network, and a big thank you to you, Inga, for coming on, and all our listeners. With that, everyone, remember your journey is unique and your worth is unquestionable. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you.